Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sohum Reactions. Today's request comes from Russell, who suggested we check out some more Joan Armatrading. So we'll first start off with the song Show Some Emotion, then pivot to Down to Zero, and then we'll end the reaction off with The Weakness in Me. I hope you guys are excited to check this out with me today. So without further ado, let's just quickly jump into it. It's been a little bit of time since we've seen Joan on the channel.
Show some emotion.
I think there's a 12 string she has.
Put expression in your eyes. Light up if you're feeling happy.
Those are some expensive chords.
But if it's bad, then let those tears roll down.
Whoa. Cool riff.
Some people hurt it. Someone choking up inside.
16th notes.
Some poor souls dying.
Whoa. Now, did you listen to how gently her voice hovered there?
Someone choking up inside.
Oh,
Some poor souls dying.
like floating.
Too proud to say they got no place to lie. And there's people in the hear a joke. Can't keep the laugh out of their eyes.
Oh my god, her voice is amazing. Very angelic.
Show some emotion. Put expression in your eyes.
It's like she's not even trying. She's just so effortless.
Feeling happy.
I don't know if you heard that very twangy note. It felt like somebody pitched up their acoustic guitar as they were playing the natural harmonic.
Light up if you're feeling happy. But if it's bad, then let those
sorry.
tears roll down. Some people in love, but all they got's a photograph. How can they get it? Too scared to open their mouths and then I said, show some emotion. Put expression in your eyes. Light up if you're feeling
There's that
happy.
tune up again. You know what's cool about that technique? If that's what's happening here, it's cool because it's very infrequently used. In fact, I can only think of 2 or 3 performances off the top of my mind where I've even seen a guitarist do that. Granted, it does happen a lot, but not as often as all of the other techniques. So like my experience may be more limited than it should be, but there's one specific performance that you may have seen yourself. It's an acoustic performance of George Michael's Careless Whisper. And you could probably just find it on YouTube, like acoustic guitar Careless Whisper. And you'll hear the guy do 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 do. So that do, that is a version of he hits the note on the acoustic, and then instead of like sliding up to the higher note or like just playing the higher note straight up, he will tune the string up as a version of playing that pitch. I haven't done that technique all that much, and for a long time I had a Floyd Rose bridge guitar. I mean, I still have it. I just removed the part that fixes the strings, and if you tune it too much, it may snap if you don't remove the hard, like, bolted down pieces. So anyways, that's what it sounds like it's happening there, which is a cool just like injection of this like brightness and twang within this song that is taking multiple forms of almost like a folk pop kind of a song, but with almost like this pseudo jazz edge to it. Yeah, let's keep listening, but this one's an interesting song stylistically.
I said, show some emotion. Put expression in your eyes. Light up if you're feeling happy. But if it's bad, then let those tears roll down.
sings so effortlessly. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah. All these nuanced chords. This is what I mean. It's like pseudo jazz somehow. I was not expecting this direction though. That is awesome. Oh, and she brings it back. Wow.
Put expression in your eyes. Light up if you feel it, happy. But if it's bad, then let those tears roll down. Come on, try.
It's a hard song to put in a box. I really like how fresh it sounds.
When you get a bad ball. Light up, light up, light up. If it's nice, and if it's bad, then let those tears roll down. If it's bad, then let those tears roll down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really appreciate that from the songwriting standpoint and her musicality and her vocal performance. I feel like all three of those things really come together to make this songs have a very fresh sound, very memorable riff for sure too. You can just play the 16th notes quick on your way down. It's great for like intermediate acoustic guitar players, and still is still entertaining enough to listen to. Though I would say at a high level, like that portion of the song that is a bit more simple. But when we start like venturing into the jazz world, and even like in the intro when we had those unique chords, then you take it a touch too beyond just your standard folk song. And the fact that we like blended these two distinct styles together is, you know, a feather in the cap of Joan. I like the song too lyrically because so many of us struggle to be emotionally vulnerable, and Joan, in her very earnest delivery, suggests to show some emotion, whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness. Showing that you're emotional doesn't show that you're weak. It shows that you care, shows that you're impacted. And for me, like I've mentioned this several times before, but always relevant here, I was always one to bottle and suppress my emotions because I would feel fear for putting them on display. I didn't feel like I had a safe place necessarily to put them out there. And when you can become that safe place for yourself and don't judge yourself for having those emotions, my God, it is so freeing. And to me, like the way that Joan carries herself in this performance, it's a version of her having reached complete self-acceptance of her own emotion. And now all she's doing is suggesting that we too carry our emotions, on our sleeve. It's worth it, in my opinion. Beautiful song. Let's head over to Down to Zero. Oh, I like the melody and the keys already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1.
All the feeling when you're reeling. You start lightly thinking you're number one. Down to zero with a word, leaving for another one. Now you walk with your feet back on the ground. Down to the ground, down to the ground.
I love her rhythmic pattern in the vocals.
Down to the ground, down
Very
to the ground.
creative delivery.
Brand new dandy, first class seat stealer. Walks to the crowd and takes your man. Sends you rushing to the mirror. Brush your eyebrows and say, there's more beauty in you than anyone. I remember who walks stand beside you. More to your heel, let the waves come rushing.
This song is gorgeous. I really like this.
Just the worry from your head, but then again, she put trouble in your heart. instead. Then you fall down to the ground, down to the ground. You know how it is. Still more crying when you're thinking of your mother's only son.
It's getting heavy.
You fall down to the ground, down to the ground. You know how it is. Still more crying when you're thinking of your mother's only son. Took to your bed, you said this peace and sleep, but you dream of love instead.
I love the creativity.
Oh, the heartache you'll find can bring more pain than a blistering sun.
Even the punctuation with all the percussion and all the instruments there. 2 punches, all in unison.
Oh, when you fall at my door.
Wow. I love this tone.
All the feeling when you're reeling. You step lightly, thinking you're number one. Down to zero with a word, leaving
You're piercing.
for another one. Now you walk with your feet back on the ground. Down to the ground, down to the ground.
I really love this song.
Down to the ground, down to the ground. You know how it is. Still more crying when you're thinking of your mother's only son. Took to your bed, you said this peace and sleep, but you dream of love instead. But oh, when you fall, oh, when you fall.
Oh my god.
All at my door.
Heavenly notes. Dude, there's so much I could say about that song, but I love the melody top to bottom. And this is like a element that I think deserves special attention in this song, but her specific rhythmic delivery to her vocals. The way she breaks up those syllables and to the pattern with which she does so is so unexpected, but works so well. And it's not necessarily easy to pick up on a first pass because it sounds very fluid, but at least with a lot of the music that I've ever listened to, I feel like this particular pattern is almost more of a rap cadence when she sings along in that like chorusy section than I was expecting to hear in what felt more like a folk ballad song. So I kind of got like an interesting juxtaposition of styles that I wouldn't necessarily expect to have related to on that delivery. I guess what I mean by that is like, imagine if in metal music, like you have a galloping strumming pattern, but in a lot of folk music, you may have more disparate strumming patterns. But instead of having the gallop in metal, you switch it over into folk and then vice versa. I feel like that's a version of what we got here in this folk ballad with that kind of interesting cadence. And now that I'm like really starting to listen to more Joan, I feel like I am more and more impressed by her songwriting just holistically. The instruments that she chooses to employ, their textures and the melodies, their interplay, the layering. I really feel like it makes for a super, like I said before, fresh listen. I don't feel like I can quite characterize her using using other artists or songs that I've heard before, because this, in terms of these songs, in terms of the techniques that she's using and the way it all fits together, it feels too Frankenstein to the point where it is just Joan's own creation. And to me, it sounds awesome. I think you guys would also agree with that. But please let me know what your thoughts are there, because I feel like I'm still failing to find the words to express how I feel about it right now. So let's see if I figure it out by the last song. This is The Weakness in Me.
I'm not the sort of person who falls in and quickly out of love. But to you I gave my affection right from the start. I have a lover who loves me. How could I break such a heart? Yet still you get my attention. Why do you come here when you know I've got troubles enough?
Wow.
Why do you call me when you know I can't answer the phone? Make me love and I don't want to.
Wow.
And make someone else some kind of an unknown fool.
Wow.
You make me stay when I should not. Are you so strong or is all the weakness in me? Why do you come here? And
But even the rhythm and why do you come here, the way that she spaces out those words and each of the syllables, it feels like most singers wouldn't do it that way. And that gives her that edge in terms of what makes her unique as a vocalist. I feel like most singers would deliver that line, "Why do you come here?" But the way she delivers "come here," "Why do you come here?" it's more staccato and it almost de-emphasizes the "come here," which I would imagine most other singers would emphasize. It's almost like she opted to make that particular line more top heavy by making the "do" and "you" a bit more elongated and then shortening "come here." It's these little things that give her song that, for all intents and purposes, is more simple. And I think it's the simplest of the three that we've heard so far. Gives this simple song a bit of a unique edge to it.
me, why do you come here and pretend to be just passing by? But I mean to see you, and I mean to hold you tightly.
Oh, I love the... Oh, I love
Feeling guilty, worried,
Do you hear that?
waking from tormented sleep. This old love has me bound, but the new love cuts deep. If I choose now, I'll lose out.
This bass line is awesome.
One of you has to fall, and I need you, and you.
I like that the strings are gentle and kind of
Why
washed out.
do you come here when you know I've got troubles enough? Why do you call me
Oh, the tone on the
when
acoustic
you know I
is
can't answer the
everything.
phone? Make me love and I don't want to. Make someone else some kind of unknown fool. You make me stay when I should not. Are you so strong or is all the weakness in me? Why do you come here and pretend to be just passing by?
I love these songs
But
today.
I mean to see you, and I mean to hold you tight.
Did you hear how she went through like 4 different tones there?
And I mean to hold you tight.
Like the overt vocal crack there passing through her passaggio. Yeah, I don't even know which of my favorite song was of the three today, but I really like this last one as well. And interestingly, it felt the most straight up of the three in terms of song structure, but it's these little details that I feel like set Joan apart from some other vocalists. Definitely from your average, just like straight up sung song. I feel like Joan has a bit of an extra, again, a unique edge to her voice that you don't hear often. I feel like she opts for more simplicity, but she will make subtly different choices that kind of show you that this lyric is being delivered by Joan and her own personality. Like an example I can give is if you have that one friend who is very casually funny but never intends to be, because just by virtue of how they are, they're funny and interesting to listen to. They don't really have to try all too hard to make any jokes for real. That's almost like how Joan sings. It's like she has a slight set of quirks in her voice that make what she sings sound super interesting, and she's not all that far off in terms of what's normatively done either, but because there are these little, call them like idiosyncratic differences that can exist as its own unique set, almost like a constellation in the night sky, that to me is kind of what's helping me characterize Joan differently from some of the other vocalists that we've heard on the channel. And I think on top of just her vocal delivery and the rhythm and all of that cool stuff, I feel like the instrumentation and the composition is a big part of what makes these songs feel as fresh as they do. There's a creativity in which element is going to be the sort of secondary feature that momentarily will like grab your full attention within the scope of the song and then give it right back to Joan and her vocals. Like in the first song, there's that like pitched up natural harmonic note, at least what I thought was that. I think in the second song, we had that like heaviness, that massive bass guitar sound just populating the lows, almost as if we were going into like a djenty style from there, despite us not having gotten to the full extreme of what's out there in the metal world. We still had a blending of genres, and it doesn't necessarily, what I brought up at the very beginning was the idea of like two different styles and the different sort of techniques that are more often occurring within that style. Joan is good at like adopting some of those techniques that exist in different worlds and brings it to her current place. I feel like she does, if there is a home for her, it's closer to folk than anything else, but she's very open to drawing from other sources of inspiration, which I am always appreciative of. Genre blending is always something that I will praise any artist for, because it takes immense bravery and skill to be able to A, have the courage to do it, and B, have the skill to implement it. It's all too impressive for me, and seemingly Joan just continues to do that song after song after song. So I had a really good time today. Would love to hear more Joan Armatrading on the channel. If you're interested in sending more of her work my way, you can request a reaction using the first link in the description box below. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.